Yes, yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. There are two things, or rather two factors, that are really complicating matters for our President Uhuru Kenyatta as far as his succession politics in 2022 is concerned. Two factors. The first thing that is really complicating matters for our beloved president is the perceived notion that Gideon Moi is very, very weak, even among the Kalenjin population. That's the first thing. The second thing that is really complicating matters for our president is that majority of Mount Kenya residents are currently tilting towards William Ruto. Whether that's true or not, that's a story for another day. But there is that perception. And you know, in politics, perception really means a lot. So I want us to look into those two factors into details and see exactly what is happening behind the scenes. So in case you've bumped on this YouTube channel for the very first time, tap on the subscription button and also on the notification bell to get a notification anytime we upload a new video. I also implore upon you to give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Yes. Straight away to our discussion. After Machako senatorial by-election, Matungu parliamentary by-election, and also Kabuchai by-election and Kemukoma ward by-election in Kisii, Ruto appeared that he was really a wounded lion. He appeared that he was so much weak. So during that time when Ruto appeared to be very, very weak, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, Wetangula and Gideon Moi formed OKA, One Kenya Alliance. During that time, Ruto appeared that he was really, really weak. OKA was formed during that time. And the main purpose OKA was formed, ladies and gentlemen, was first to see if they could propel a Gideon Moi presidency even without the input of Raila Amolo Odinga. That was the first thing. The second reason was to see how they could curtail, or rather to make sure that they had killed all the inroads William Ruto had made in parts of Ukambani and also in some parts of Western, the Mulembe Nation. Though that was achieved. But now the second objective of OKA, to see if they could propel a Gideon Moi presidency without Raila's input, that one flopped, or rather it stalled. And it stalled because of two things, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing, just as I've mentioned, is the perceived notion that Gideon Moi is very, very weak even in his own backyard of the Kalenjin nation. And the second thing is that the perceived notion that William Ruto is very, very strong in Gema. Those are the two things that are really complicating matters for our beloved President Uhuru Kenyatta. Let's start with the first option, a weak Gideon Moi. Ladies and gentlemen, upon OKA being formed, behind those who formed OKA, because we know OKA was formed with the full blessings of the diplomatic wing of the deep state. The Karanja Kibichus, the Joseph Kinywas, and maybe the Matiangis. Those were the faces, or rather the unseen faces, behind the formation of OKA. And according to their arithmetic, or according to their perceived arithmetic, they wanted to propel a Gideon Moi presidency with Mount Kenya votes, and then maybe they just top it up with maybe either Kalonzo's votes or maybe Musalia Mudavadi's votes. Because we know that Mount Kenya, or rather Gema, their votes, they have quite a lot of votes. And if you can have that, their voting basket, you just need some little top up for you maybe to reach around the 50+1 threshold. So that was the original calculation. And then now comes a very strong, or rather a perceived very strong William Ruto in Gema. That really complicates matters for the president, because now they cannot propel Gideon Moi to the presidency without Raila's input, because the Gema vote that they were trying to rely on, some part of it, or rather a large chunk of it, is perceived to already be be leaning towards William Ruto. So that's really complicating matters for our beloved president, because we all know that Gideon Moi is Uhuru Kenyatta's preferred heir to the throne. His first preferred successor is none other than Gideon Moi. But with the notion that Gideon Moi is very weak in his own Kalenjin backyard, and then also with the elusive Mount Kenya vote, that's really complicating matters for the president. And then the second factor, ladies and gentlemen, if we leave alone Gideon Moi's strength in Rift Valley, or rather in Kalenjin Rift Valley, it was also believed, or rather rumored, the perception was very, very rife, that the technocrats wanted to propel a Gideon Moi presidency with Mount Kenya votes alone. And then maybe they could just top it up with maybe a bit of Kamba vote and a bit of the Luya vote. But now, from what we are seeing coming out, emanating from the ground, that might not be possible. Because William Ruto, there is a very perceived feeling, though whether it's true or not, that's a story for another day. Though I might also differ with that. There is a very strong perceived notion that Gamer vote currently is angling towards William Ruto. So that means that Gideon Moi cannot be propelled to presidency banking on the Gamer vote. Because currently, you know, without Raila Amolo Odinga, then matters can really become very much complicated. And one thing that Uhuru wants to leave after 2022, Uhuru Kenyatta wants to leave a very friendly president in charge. Somebody who most likely can take the care and interest of the president after he retires. So those two factors seems to be really complicating matters for the president. And then on the aspect of Gideon Moi again, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that if there was no Gideon Moi, then Uhuru Kenyatta might have had no problem with even fronting William Samoei Ruto. But now, as I've been maintaining in this YouTube channel, that there seems to exist some kind of a blood pact between Uhuru Kenyatta and the Moi family, that upon Uhuru Kenyatta retiring, then he should place Gideon Moi at some advantage position that can make him sometime inherit power, or rather assume power, without any problems. So now, with a very strong William Ruto on one side, that's really becoming not very, very easy. So Uhuru Kenyatta is now forced to make sure he sacrifices William Ruto in order to elevate Gideon Moi. And the only way now he can achieve that, ladies and gentlemen, though that might not be his liking, is to bring in the idea of a Raila Amolo Odinga. So Uhuru Kenyatta, and I've been making that very clear in several of my videos, that as things stand, ladies and gentlemen, the diplomatic wing of the deep state, they have looked at all the possible options, and they have come to a conclusion that Gideon Moi cannot be made the outright presidential candidate, or rather the outright president in 2022. That one cannot happen. So it now forces the diplomatic wing of the deep state, because we know that the political wing of the deep state are allied to Raila Amolo Odinga, and they're pushing for a Raila Amolo Odinga presidency led by Murabe Maina Kamanda and most of political leaders from allied to the president. But the diplomatic wing, even as of now, they are finding it very, very hard to push for a Raila Amolo Odinga presidency. But now it forces them to do that because of the perceived unpopularity of Gideon Moi in Rift Valley, and also because of the perceived popularity of William Samoei Ruto in parts of Central, or rather in Mount Kenya, or rather in Central. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, the president and also even the deep state at large is now left with no other option but to propel a Raila transitional presidency to pave way for a Gideon Moi presidency. That's how currently things stand. That's how things stand out currently, ladies and gentlemen. So let me stop it there for today. If you've bumped on this YouTube channel, just as I did mention, make sure you subscribe and also make sure you give this video a like. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana.